Hi, my name is Allie Sorlie and I work at the Alabama Museum of Natural History. And today we're here to talk about how to make our own fossils. So a fossil is the remains of ancient life. It's a rock that has leftover parts of organisms, which is a fancy word for living things, that were left over from a long time ago. That's something that's not alive anymore and hasn't been alive for a very long time. Now, when some people say or hear fossils, they think of whole skeletons, like whole skeletons of dinosaurs or whole skeletons of fish. Fossils can also be footprints left behind by animals in the mud that have turned into rock. Fossils can be things like teeth, like this tooth right here. That's a shark tooth. Fossils can also be shells, like this oyster shell. Or this ammonite. So, we are not able to make fossils the way that fossils are really formed in nature. To do that, you would need millions of years and lots of time, and we just don't have that time right now. But we are going to make our own fossil impressions using this activity. So let's get started. We are going to start our activity by making a salt dough. And a salt dough is really simple. It's 3 ingredients that you probably have around your house. You need flour, you need salt, and you need water. This is one of my very favorite things to make. So when we make our salt dough, we are going to use 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of salt, and 1/2 cup of water. Now you can play around with these measurements a little bit. You just want to have a dough that is feels a little bit like Play-Doh, that you can form into a ball and that doesn't stick to your hands. So in order to make this dough, I'm going to mix my flour with my salt. And my water. Now you can use a spoon to mix this up, but I really like to get my hands dirty in this. So I'm going to mix it up with my hands. Get my hands all goopy. Ooh. This definitely does make messes, which I think is super fun. I put too much water in this, so I'm going to add some flour. You can kind of play around with the recipe on this. You want to have a dough that feels pretty firm. In order to make our fossil, we need to take a little bit of dough off of that big batch of dough that we made and roll it into a ball, kind of like this. We're going to roll it into a ball and we're going to pat, pat, pat to make it flat. And then we're going to take an object that we find outside. You can use a leaf or an acorn or a stick or some sort of object that you find outside, or if you've got something in your house that you want to use, like maybe a button or a coin, you can do that. And what you're going to do is you're going to take that object and you're going to press it into your dough. Press it in there. And this is going to create an impression fossil. An impression fossil is a trace or a part of an organism that was left behind. So an impression fossil could be a footprint, or it could be the print of a leaf on a rock, or even sometimes the print of a whole fish body on a rock. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull my object out of my dough, and you can see I have an impression of my object. Then I challenge you to make a fossil and ask your friends and family what it might be made out of. Now when you're done with your dough and you're done with your fossil, you can let it air dry, or if you want and you have the help of an adult, you can put it in the oven at a low temperature at about 200 degrees for maybe about 15 or 20 minutes to let it dry out a little bit, and then you will have a hardened, dried fossil of your very own that you made. Now, I will say for when you're making this dough, it works best if the dough is a little firmer. So you want to make sure that it doesn't stick to your hands, that nothing comes off when you are making your dough, and that it's a little on the firmer side so that the objects that you place in it don't get stuck in the dough. So play around with the recipe a little bit. It works best if you keep kneading it and working it, and you can go ahead and make any fossil that you like. Now, if you like fossils, come and visit us at the Museum of Natural History, the Alabama Museum of Natural History. We are on the University of Alabama's campus, and we are open right now for visitors Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. And you can find information about how to get to us on our website. We just ask that you please wear a mask and that you observe social distancing guidelines.